But Dynamite again. It's funny because after we talked about it like last week and the week before, how we talked about anybody from the elite or the previous elite keep starting off AEW. Hangman started off, and I think he's been consistently starting off Dynamite for the past 3 or 4 weeks now.
He has.
So this was another surprise.
This what I was saying was my big surprise of Wednesday.
I've been conflicted with this for the past day and a half. Okay. I've been very conflicted because my initial thought to this, like, what the fuck, like, why? But then I started thinking about it, and I was like, okay, maybe it's not that bad. But then I kept thinking, like, but why Brian Cage? But then I kept thinking, I was like, I kept going back and forth with this, and then I've rested on one thing. I'm okay with this because it allows Hangman to kind of, no pun intended, but hang back a little bit and maybe not go directly to Kenny. Maybe this gives him a chance to potentially win the TNT title. And I'm going to get into more of that later on when we get to the main event as to why I think that. But I think this is the best road for Hangman to win the TNT title. Now, and I say that because I'm thinking about longevity. Like if Hangman continues on this winning streak for 2021, it's gonna look weird that he goes all these months, even with storyline into play about like him
and still doesn't. Yeah.
And still doesn't compete for it. It's going to just look weird. It's like, wait, everybody's had has had these title shots or been in position to get title shots, and you've been the number one guy. You've been touted as the number one ranked guy, yet nobody has put you in a position to go for a title, and nobody has complained as to, hey, you're number one. Let me get my title shot. You can go sit. Like, if you don't want this, go sit at the back of the line. I'm here for a title. Nobody's brought it up outside of that. Now, with that aside, as far as this match goes, this is all bullshit. This is all bullshit. Now, granted, it was smart story-wise to jump Hangman from behind and have Team Taz keep in the middle of that. But I think I'm starting to get to the point where I'm over all this faction warfare and all these, brawls that happen here and there and all this other shit. It's starting to seem like at least every other match has this same type of scenario happen. And to me, like it just feels like it's getting old. Like it's not even special anymore. So
Well, to bring up kind of what you were saying with Hangman, I finally listened to Cornette, and they was talking about last week's when they were talking about last week's Dynamite, and he brought up an interesting point when it comes to Hangman. They were saying the way Hangman has been as of late, does he look like the guy that's going to dethrone Kenny Omega?
Not at all. I'm sorry, but no.
And that's what they were saying. They were saying unless this is some weird long-term building where they about to start building him up.
Yeah, he would have
the guy that's going to beat Kenny Omega.
Like if he doesn't get a redemption arc at some if that hill needs to start coming up like soon though,
real soon.
Because if you keep beating him up like this or keep him stagnant like this, we're gonna lose it. Like we're gonna be all right. Well, who the fuck else do we want?
Okay, exactly. So that goes to my point, but that I'm going to talk about later on. But yeah, we're pretty much on the same page with that.
Yeah. Let's hear what you got to say, or we'll get there.
Huh?
Let's hear what you got to say.
Oh no, I mean, as far as like what's going to get him back up, even with storyline purpose, like that's what I'm talking about during the main event. But this match, it just seemed very just like nah when Cage won, because I mean, I was surprised, yeah, but I mean, it's like, is this really the person you want to put in that position to take away Hangman's like undefeated streak for 2021? Like it just seems like
apparently they did it.
I mean, at least it was a believable win.
True,
Like,
absolutely.
Like if this had been like a straight up match and he ended up like doing the same thing, trying to just scrub him like that, then I would have been utterly pissed. But the fact that he got jumped, the fact that we had a whole brawl, and then he just got the shit into the stick. Yeah. I don't know. I'd believe that loss more.
Yeah, y'all changed my mind on this one because thinking about it, it makes sense. For Cage to be the believable person, and then for Hangman to get jumped in the beginning, it's not like you're going to beat Cage after getting demolished in the beginning. So yeah, fair enough.
Right.
That's fine. That's fine. Because I honestly can't think about anybody else outside of maybe like Hobbs, but Hobbs isn't in the position right now to be able to, and any other big guy.
I'm really ready to see Hobbs start like really messing people up.
Me too.
Well, it seemed like that's where it was going last week against Christian, but see how that shit went. But that was
the same thing Cornette had kind of said too. They was like, it's not the fact that I didn't like this match, it's the fact that it maybe should have been a different guy.
In that match. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like, I mean, nothing against Christian. It just seems like he's not the person that I would view. Now, I get for the storyline that they're trying to portray with this shit, but at the same time, it's like, let somebody else get that rub against Hobbs.
Yeah.
But yeah. Now, after this match, they had another segment with the Elite, but this time in a limo.
Yes.
Again with the shenanigans with Young Bucks rocking. Well, now it seems to be a shtick now with everybody their questionable gear. Yeah, they basically ran down Kenny's win, and then how he has so many belts that they had to get another limousine to carry the hardware. Yet it's weird how they keep bringing up the AAA title, but they never have shown it on TV outside of that time that he brought it against Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, I was going to say he did defend it on AEW.
But other than that, it's like it's weird because they never start throwing it in the conversation until he won the Impact title or until around the time he was competing for the Impact title. Like,
you think that might be because like they don't want to just give like free publicity?
I don't know.
You think that they just want to like get some money from Impact, get some money from AAA? I'm sorry, not AAA. What is it?
Yeah, AAA.
Okay, yeah. So you think they actually like want AAA and Impact to like throw in a little bit to the cause?
Well, then do like WWE and only bound your wrestlers to Impact. I mean, not Impact. Sorry, Dynamite. I mean AEW. Then, like, what's the point of having Kenny, AAA champion, and Impact champion, and y'all don't even mention those promotions?
Yeah, no, I'm on the same page. I don't like the one-sided deals here.
Oh, and then you still got Moxley as United States champion.
They're at least plugging that.
Yeah.
Now.
I mean, yes, but that's the other thing with New Japan, though, is that they don't do like title defenses like in rapid succession. They like let story build. I'll admit I haven't been watching New Japan recently, but I bet if I watched previous episodes or something, I would see something about Mox with his new contender that he has.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, but at the same time, I think they've done more surrounding around Mox and the United States Championship and with New Japan rather than anybody else, because anybody else would get like some type of like, think about it. Kenny defending the title against Ray Phoenix on Dynamite. I think you had the Bucks. I don't know if they defended the tag titles or they came out with tag titles from AAA or somewhere else. But I know they came out with them one time. And I think that was on Dynamite.
Oh yeah, I think I remember that.
But it's always like something here or there. And then the same matter of fact, speaking of which, now that we're talking about it, where the fuck is Serena Deeb and the NWA Women's Championship?
Yeah, she hadn't been on in a minute.
So that
I think NWA might have been started running shows again, so she might just be back on NWA.
Oh, okay.
I mean, that could explain why Thunder Rosa's been gone since her match.
Well, that would yeah.
Well, no, that doesn't. No, that's. I mean, she's been gone off of like Dynamite time, but she has been doing like elevation stuff. Like she did that small feud with Diamante.
Oh, okay. Oh, never mind. Yeah, it does seem like Power's back on. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So I guess they had a show on the 27th. Power.
Huh.
Yeah. So all right. So look, I guess NWA is back up. So that makes sense. And that answers that question. But yeah. So this whole segment was kind of the same thing. Everybody being kind of cheeking. So now I know now it's kind of set in what type of heels that they're being right at this point.
Right.
So it's just like it's basically the type of heels that Cornette hates. So
the egocentric ones.
Yeah, the ones that just out there. Nothing
Yeah.
about being like extremely dominant, or they're being dominant, but it's more the character that they're playing being egotistical and obnoxious rather than the in-ring shit. Because I mean, you got to think about it. Ever since Kenny won this title, he's like, it seems like he's barely wrestled as opposed to how he used to be on damn near almost every Dynamite he was in a match. Now he's just in segment after segment, just talking, and everybody else is doing the work, i.e. Nakazawa being placed in a match unknowingly against Eddie Kingston, or probably knowingly. So now they kind of set up the fact that Eddie Kingston, which is weird that Kenny would bring up Eddie Kingston and the Bucks would not, because it seems as though that seems to be where the feud is going. Yet it's now it's between Eddie Kingston, Moxley, and Kenny Omega, which we're going to get into that. Well, matter of fact, I'm going to skip that part to talk about that part now before we get into the Bucks match. But that set up a match between Eddie Kingston and Michael Nakazawa, which was weird, but it made sense just for storyline as far as Kenny being cheeky and throwing Nakazawa out there as a sacrificial lamb. So Kingston comes out and just says, no, this is not how it's going to go. Kenny, come out. I'm not doing this bullshit. Nakazawa, get out the ring. Kenny comes out, and Nakazawa attacks Kingston, and then Kingston proceeds to beat him down. And then from that, you get young boy Brandon Cutler. Young boy Brandon Cutler.
Hold on. Can we just cover the disrespect that Kenny gave Nakazawa?
Oh,
Kingston put Nakazawa's leg in a chair, said, "Hey, Kenny, if you don't give me a match with you and if you don't give me a match with you against me and Mox, I'm gonna break his leg." And Kenny's like, "You're gonna break his leg." Yeah, he's like, you know what? Nak knows what he signed up for. Take it. Go ahead, break the leg.
Which is crazy. So it's like, so then you get Callis. Oh, and so Mox when Mox came out, he threw Kenny in the ring, and so now they put the table. I mean, they put the chair on Kenny's ankle, and then you get Callis on the mic. Says, "Hey, all right, we'll give you what you want. Give you what you want." The thing that got me, because I'm thinking like, okay, cool, they're about to ask for a tag title match against the Bucks.
Right.
Makes sense. Nope. But you get asked whatever it is that you want, whatever type of match you want. You don't ask for a world title match. You don't ask for a tag title match. You just ask for a match with the world champ and Michael Nakazawa. Like, what does that do for anybody in all of this?
I think this is just a personal vendetta at this point for Mox. So he's just trying to get Kenny in a ring so he can go to town on him.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't feeling none of this. I thought it was the worst thing of the night. Personally.
I wasn't
feeling none of this.
Yeah, for the potential that it could have had, especially with the way that Mox and Kingston have been doing their promos and vignettes and everything, this did fall flat because of what I expected from them in this. And it just, and even the payoff with them getting a match between Kenny and Nakazawa, it's still, I'm like, why? Like, why not ask for the Bucks? Because that's where I think that should go. Because we already know that the Bucks are going to be holding these titles until they go against a credible team as far as popularity goes. Because all the other teams, they have credible tag teams in AEW, but nobody realistically is going to take them off the Bucks until they're in a prominent position within the company or on TV. So with that segue, the Bucks defended their titles against the Saito brothers.
Mm-hmm.
This is another one of those tag matches that I look at and I'm like, I mean, for the showcase, cool, nice exhibition. But at the same time, I still don't see the reasoning behind it based on the fact of all the rankings that you have. Like, regardless of, tag title eliminators and stuff like this, like, you have a ranking system. And now, granted, I don't know where the Saito brothers fall in the rankings, which let me just see here, because last time I checked, I don't think they were even on the rankings for.
I think they squeezed into the top 5 spot.
Let me
Maybe
look at
they were higher. Yeah,
I'm looking at this week's and I don't see them on there.
Oof.
Now the previous week, no, they're still not on there, which is crazy because it's just one of those things. Now which is why I'm like, okay, well, I get that you have these title eliminator matches to give somebody a shot, but if I'm looking at who's the last people you defended your tag titles like, because I'm not sure the last match they had when they did their last defense. Because so far,
Death Triangle.
Okay, Death Triangle, and that was because of the Battle Royale that they won. They weren't on the rankings. Right now, you have SCU, you have Jurassic Express, you have Varsity Blondes, you have Acclaim, you have FTR, and none of these teams right now are competing for those tag titles outside of SCU now, based on the promo after this match, which of course the Bucks won. And you had SCU come out, and here, matter of fact, no, they're not even competing for those tag titles yet, because they have to go into a 4-way to decide who's going to go. This is the problem that I have, because it makes no sense. Is that you have the number one team right now. You have your slot as number one contenders. They've come out and stated that they're number one contenders, yet they're being placed in a 4-way match with 3 other teams to decide who's going to compete. It's already self-explanatory who should compete.
It's already written who's going to win. Like, why make them go through a gauntlet?
And thank you. That's another thing. You're basically telling us who's going to, because right now they're not going to, because they said the next match they lose, they're going to separate. You're not going to have them separate in a match that doesn't vie for the titles.
Right.
So you like the logic in that is very weird. AEW has made some questionable decisions as of late. And I hate that it's that weird, because it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, because like the caliber that they've shown in the very beginning and up to 2021, because I think 2021 is where things kind of just fell off. You got the shit with Sheeta not defending her title as much, or having everybody in the rankings in the women's division have almost twice, if not 3 times more matches than she has had in 2021, and she's the champ. You have the situation with Kenny worried about every other belt other than the AEW championship. You have Darby in the perfect position right now, defending every fucking week. I mean, it's like it's weird. It's very fucking weird.
What's the women's standings right now?
Right now it's Britt at 1, Thunder Rosa, Ty
Right.
Conti down to 3, Nyla Rose at 4, and Red Velvet at 5.
Okay. Penelope Ford was up there at some point, but that was a while back.
She
I guess.
was, and that's another weird thing too. I guess she just got knocked off because even during that time when we did see Penelope Ford on those rankings, it was still odd that she was on there.
Yeah, I'll give you that much. But again, that could have been like another easy match for Sheeta to keep relevance.
That's true. That's very true.
Like, you still could have made that like a good like 10, 15-minute match and like still kept Sheeta looking good.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. Like, this is just one of those situations because it's especially with the promo that that SCU gave was still very inconsistent to what their plans were, because they came out definitively as if they were going to be the ones to challenge for those titles.
That's what I thought we were getting at. Blood and Guts was SCU versus Bucks.
Exactly, and it seemed like that was the case. But fuck us for listening to fucking Christopher Daniels.
Right.
But yeah, man, that's I guess it is what it is. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's gonna come back around the way it needs to. So I'm not too worried about it. It's still just very fucking weird. And of course, and at the end,
that's what they're doing.
What?
Because remember, their pay-per-view is not far. Is at the end of the month.
Okay.
So they're gonna have SCU versus Bucks at the pay-per-view.
Which, I mean, I'm fine. I'm fine with that. But I think I would have foregone the promo after their match though, and just stated, okay, well, this is gonna be what's gonna have at Blood and Guts, and whoever wins this goes on to,
Yeah.
It was just a weird placement of the promo. I think that's the one thing that kind of set everything like off in a weird way, because
this will be a nice refresher on SCU though, because they've been mainly competing in Dark or Elevation. Yeah. So like next at Blood and Guts, them being in this and especially because it is a 4-way tag, this will be good exposure for them. This will remind the fans like, oh yeah, like SCU's like still the shit.
Truth. And I'm down for it. It's just weird. I just wish that this
No, I agree. The way they're doing it's very weird.
I just wish the match would have ended with Brandon Cutler coming out and spraying the I guess a cold spray on them.
Oh yeah.
And leaving it at that. But yeah, it's just it's a weird position to see Brandon Cutler, and it's all just him embracing the young boy shit that Kenny kept saying for the longest. And him being okay with it.
Right.
At least seeming to be okay with it. Shit. But after
just tell Cutler you're gonna be our young boy now.
And then wear a jacket that says young boy. Now, after that, we finally had Orange Cassidy and Pence. I don't want to say finally.
Wait. Wait, hold on. Before we continue, I got something to say about good old Matt Nick there.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
The young Bucks, as they're so affectionately known as. So after watching their match and watching, I guess, their heel work, son of a bitch, they turned me into a fan again.
Yes.
Son of a bitch. I was sitting there watching the match, and I was like, seeing the way they came out and seeing the way Matt Nick was acting, I was like,
yes.
Since I consider myself a self-proclaimed heel, that would be the shit I would do, that little antagonizing shit. And can we appreciate the fact that Matt Jackson did a Johnny Cage split, punched him right in the dick, and was like, oh! I was like, son of a bitch, the Bucks did it. Like, damn it, the Bucks did it, guys. They converted me. Good job, Matt and Nick. I'm a fan again. The promos, but
that ring work though.
Them being heels, they got me. So I will admit.
It's funny because it's Jaeger.
I knew you
pretty much halfway called this last week.
He did. He did.
But
So now
I'll be
now we
right
got
back. So
back
y'all
on the
can go
Bucks train.
ahead. I'll be right back. I just want to get that point out to give Matt and Nick their credit.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all got me.
They're gonna appreciate it.
They got me.
But now we get into Cassidy versus Penta.
Why?
I mean that's what I'm saying. I am saying why. I mean, I get why. I mean, as far as like the whole feud and shit, but to me, this would have benefited way more if they had just complete fans in attendance. Just all the showy shit in the beginning and just them taunting like that. That's
I mean,
what
they
that was
do
based
have
on.
fans in attendance.
I know they do, but I mean like just like to blow the roof off of just everything.
I know.
Yeah, that's what I mainly got from it. But I mean, at the same time, like I don't want, like, again, that's nothing against Cassidy or the best friends. It's just I need Penta and it's hard. This is why, like, we need that title scene in AEW, because this is where Penta needs to be. He needs to be having these marquee matches with other people to showcase just how good he is. We need to be establishing the world title picture and everybody competing for that, because it seemed like we were going that way. But once again, this whole belt collector thing started to happen, that whole like
I would have
roster.
absolutely loved to see a Sami Callihan Penta rematch.
Oh man. Oh, again.
Yep.
See, this, you know, I'm glad you said that, because this is one of the reasons why that whole like partnership would benefit, because while this whole title thing is going on, you can have these dream matches, these other matches, these crossover matches to kind of bide everybody's time and not have to worry about what's missing in AEW when they're so busy watching this extra shit that they're getting. That would have made more sense as far as a trade-off. But yeah, it's just it's weird, because now you're going to have all these matches that really don't mean too much of anything, and that lead to nothing. Because I mean, honestly, this match here is really not leading to much, because you don't really have Death Triangle feuding with the best friends. You have Penta basically going down the line of who's in the best friends and going against whoever lines up. So
where the fuck is Chuck?
I don't know. That's a good question too.
Like, no, I mean, I was cool with Trent, with it being
boy,
Trent, because we've
bars over there.
Say what now?
I said you over there spitting bars saying, where the fuck is Chuck? Spitting bars.
Cheers to that. But no, yeah, seriously.
A little praise, a little bit on Cornette's end. He actually said he loved Alex A being with Penta up until what they did with him last week, where I guess he had to interfere in the match or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he said
he did that last week.
Kinda,
okay, never mind.
Yeah, he said last week when all that shenanigans was happening, but he said that he liked the partnership of Alex A being with Penta.
So he likes Penta needing an interpreter.
Boom,
gotcha, Cornette.
Well,
I think he likes the heel work.
Of the way Alex A says the things.
Yeah,
it sounds very just like, I want to punch this guy in the face, like, you know.
So more good heel work. Yeah.
Cornette is gonna like anybody that acts a little Cornette-ish, because Cornette was annoying back in the day.
He was
as a valet or a manager. So and it's like the same thing, and it's like I mean, and it's the same thing that I've said before. Like, I don't mind Alex A being there. He for me, he doesn't fit in the mold of Death Triangle. Like, it just doesn't, like, it doesn't make sense with him being there. Like, if that was the case, I would have rather you just had either the Lucha Brothers or have just a whole nother just like Lucha stable or something like that, and have him be there. Because it seemed like that's like when I saw that picture of Alex A, Ray Phoenix, Penta, and Laredo Kid, I was like, that looks like a stable right there with Alex.
Right.
But I'm like, but you
Death Triangle.
Yeah, so
yeah. Yeah, so I'm wondering, like, is Alex A part of Death Triangle, or is he exclusively Penta's interpreter? Like,
that's the thing. I don't know.
Because yet again, I'm pretty damn. Well, I haven't seen him in BTE recently, but he's still part of Dark Order, right? I don't know.
Who the fuck knows, man? But
I don't know.
Penta
That's the only thing that the waters are muddied on. But was that?
Yeah. No, I said Penta got wrongfully pinned. I mean, granted, I like
gotta say I agree.
I like Cassidy, but it's just.
I mean, you hear what they said. They said Cassidy's like getting up there for contendership again.
Okay. Which is fine. I don't mind seeing a match between him and Darby, but
right.
But still, man, I'd
rather see Penta take off right now.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, what I think that they're doing, at least what it seems like that they're allowing everybody that could potentially compete for the TNT title to get their dues in, and then anybody that's going to be in like the world title picture to kind of just fall back. Because I mean, you think about it, you look at Lance Archer, he's not doing anything right now. You look at shit.
Yeah, we really are just like pushing the TNT title.
Yeah.
Like, the only time you see the AEW title is when Kenny's holding it.
Yeah. And anybody that could be in that picture is anybody that's already had it, which is Mox. And Mox is really not competing for the title. He's just there. So nobody's lobbied for a fucking AEW championship title picture or championship opportunity.
You know, the funny thing is, though, is that I'm not mad with Mox doing what he's doing. Like,
no, neither am I.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he's able to transition from being in the title picture to this with Kingston. I think this is like a blessing, and it's the best case scenario for him, because him and Kingston, like with the way that they interact with each other, it's really just good TV, and whatever they do, I'm just all for watching. Like they cannot wrestle for like 3 months and just be on TV doing random shit. I would still love it. So,
especially with that banter, yes,
exactly. But
yeah. I'm gonna admit, I understood what we talked about a few podcasts ago. I am back on the not feeling Orange Cassidy train again.
Oh,
yeah.
Why did he try to put his hands in his pockets too many times? Was that what it was?
So the thing is that the issue to me with the whole Orange Cassidy situation is that it's every match. It's every match he's this way, and it's every match he quote unquote becomes serious or
stays true to character.
Huh?
Stays true to character.
It does, but when you see it week in and week out, it's like, all right, I'm getting tired of it. Like I'm getting tired of I'm the lazy blase guy, but you hit me 3 too many times. Now I'm serious.
3 too many times.
That wears out to me. That doesn't have a long shelf life with me personally.
So now as far as like I get what you're talking about, because it's the same problem that Cornette has, but Cornette has your problem with it makes more sense rather than Cornette's making sense, because the way that I viewed Cassidy a long time ago, especially like from the indies, is almost like that weird anime character who. And
I remember that's what helped me kind of turn the corner, but now it seems the corner again.
Yeah, because it was more of, it wouldn't be like, okay, he takes a few shots here and he gets serious. It was he was going to do the bare minimum in each match to win, and then once it mattered, kind of the same thing that happened with him and Pac, where he took it seriously, and then but those situations. So I just feel like it's just I honestly want to chalk this up to it just being like the COVID shit, where you just don't have that many fans in attendance, and it feels like it would benefit him more to have more fans in attendance, because then you can have that spectacle where fans are just making it better, because fans make shows better, and when you have that ovation from the fans, it elevates everything that Cassidy does. And
to kind of just to me personally, Cassidy's character does better for me when he's not a wrestler. Like when he's just on the apron, like. And I don't want to say that for him because I understand wrestling is his thing. Yeah. But if Cassidy was a complete manager and that's how he was as a manager, I would love it. But due to the fact that almost every match, it turns into, oh, I got to slap you around for a little bit before, I get quote unquote serious. It's like, that's starting to become my issue. But like, kind of like what y'all was saying earlier, I didn't see why this match was even happening.
Yeah,
like, I don't even see what was the purpose of this match. So
I didn't want
watching it. It was just kind of like, okay. And apparently,
I didn't want it yet, I guess.
And apparently, there is a new thing about Trent being referred to as Trent. Because once again, when I was listening to Cornette, when they was talking about last week's Dynamite, they was like, did we miss something? Like, since when did they start referring to Trent as Trent? Like, so I don't get that of why he's just referred to as Trent ? When he wasn't referred to as that before. And even before, I don't even know if y'all realize, but Nakazawa, he was referred to as MT Nakazawa and not Michael Nakazawa.
Yeah, I was starting to notice that too. I didn't question it too much though. It just kind of threw me off for a second.
I mean,
but yeah, personally, Penta won the match, right? No, Cassidy won the match. No, this was the other part. This is the other part I wanted to bring up because I brought it up to Ashley. What the fuck does AEW have in their microphones? They have the strongest microphones ever.
Because you talking about when Mox got taken out by the microphone.
Mox got taken out by a microphone. Penta got taken out by a microphone. What the fuck is? Somebody needs to investigate AEW's microphones at this point. Because geez, they're gonna seriously hurt somebody one day.
I mean, hey, I guess they're looking at it as it's something different. It's like we didn't use a chair, but yeah, it's still a weird image of being like, oh shit, I've been taken out by a microphone.
A microphone.
But I mean, hey, Cassidy goes over.
And at this point, that was the wrong call considering Penta has been so, I guess,
amazing.
I mean, he's still part of Death Triangle, but I guess he's the singles wrestler of Death Triangle. So
which is still weird too.
It is. I thought that they were trying to build Penta up, but nope, they gave it to Cassidy.
Yeah, I don't need to know.
Yeah, because he beat Trent last week.
Yeah, which is that's the weird thing. It's like he beats Trent, but then loses to Cassidy.
Is that Cassidy getting revenge?
I don't know. And then of course, where's Death Triangle? Where's the rest of Death Triangle?
Something must be happening with Pac. Like either Pac is injured or something. Something is happening with Pac because Pac is rarely showing up.
Yeah, it's very sporadic on his end.
Yeah,
but Ray Phoenix should have been somewhere too, but unless he's hurt.
So I don't know.
Yeah, this is all very, very weird. But away from that to another weird promo by Jade Cargill, which I have an issue with her promos because she keeps saying how she's the boss, she's this and that, and she says she doesn't need a manager. Yet she keeps lobbying for a manager. If somebody's going to sign, they need to come with this and that. But I'm like, if you don't need a manager,
I don't. Yeah.
I like it's.
I'm on board there. That's...
Yeah, Jade's losing me a little bit. Like, just get in the ring and wrestle, Jade. We don't. I mean, your promos are better.
No,
like,
oh my god! If she just would have like, you know what? Yeah, maybe she cut a shorter promo, but yeah, give her like a 2-minute match or give her like a couple of squash matches
Yeah.
Maybe with some dark names that we're more familiar with or something. I don't know, but just keep her relevant in the ring as well. Like you've cut enough promos. Make sure she's in the ring next week.
Yeah. Worry about getting in those
I agree
rankings.
with that. I can say I can agree.
Yeah.
She has to worry about getting on the board as far as in the rankings, because Red Velvet is at 5. So if that's the person that she's rivaling, she needs to go ahead and just say fuck it,
Oh man,
get on that board. But from there, we finally get the blood and guts parlay between Inner Circle and the Pinnacle.
Fire.
all right.
It was
I loved it.
I definitely did not expect this, but I'm glad I got it because it showcased. I'm glad it gave everybody time to actually speak, and it hyped me up for this match even more. And I'm glad that it did, because before, when even last week, I'm thinking like the parlay, I was like, I don't know where we got it, but whatever. This made sense to me. This made a lot of sense going from everybody. And look, Sammy on point, FTR on point, MJF, Jericho always. But just the standouts between the face-off between Shawn Spears and Guevara, of course, Guevara getting the better of that, FTR and Proud and Powerful, with FTR technically getting the better of that, and then you have Santana getting that little sweet punch.
Hey, they must have heard you last week, Lip, because you saw that Hager didn't speak.
Hey, I mean, I fucked with his camo attire though, so it's all good.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I was down with it. I don't know why they needed all this fucking security that was never near them when they were in the ring.
Yeah, what was up with the motorcycles? That was
that was supposed to be Inner Circle security.
And then there was a bat on one of them. I thought Jericho was going to come out and take it, but no, he just left it there.
Yeah, but my thing is, like, you got security. Why would you have security outside the ring when you're about to go face to face with these guys? If something popped off, you would still.
They should be in the ring, probably.
Yeah, I mean,
how y'all feel about Sammy letting the Pinnacle have the advantage?
I love that. Because it spoke to Sammy's strength, but it also spoke to the intelligence of the Pinnacle, almost as if they realized if they ruffled his feathers enough, he would be the one to be like, all right, cool. So it's one of those things where it's like they go after the weakest link, but without making him look like he's the weakest link. So right now, what they're doing is that it's almost like defining, okay, yeah, Pinnacle is the heels and Inner Circle is going to be the faces, obviously. But it's right at that point, in that beginning, you're going to get Sammy fighting for his life and getting that heel, that face ovation for being a baby face, and then being that sympathetic face as well. Like they are going to milk the fuck out of that. I can almost guarantee that. And then you're going to have everybody else come in. But this is going to be the reason why the Inner Circle loses this match. But it's not going to be in a bad way, as far as my opinion. That's the way that I see it. But I love it. I love every bit of it. What about you, Jaeger?
I'm pretty ready for it. I figured that they were going to be like, I figured this was going to, I really kind of wanted them to get more physical. I just kind of did want a bit of a brawl. Just like a little bit like, hey, at least make the security that you got do something.
All right.
Like I thought exactly because of security. I'm like, okay, so they might actually have something pop off. Okay. But I did anticipate some great promo works. I mean, look at everybody that's in the ring right there.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this match. I must have completely missed the part about what the advantage is again, though. Run that back.
Basically, I mean, this whole parlay was to figure out, like, I guess to decide like who's gonna have, like, it wasn't, because normally if you get like a WWE thing where they'll end up having like matches that'll say, okay, this has the advantage here, this person goes in first or whatever. But with this one, it literally, I guess they were just going. It seemed like they were more so like lobbying for who was going to have the advantage. I don't
remember. Schiavone was going to do the coin flip.
Oh, that's right.
That's why. And then they interrupted it and turned it into a whole. Okay.
Yeah, the coin flip was going to determine who was going to get the advantage, but that's when Spears had snatched it from Schiavone, and that's when they goaded Sammy into the advantage.
Right. Okay.
See, all them damn promos, I completely forgot that was even part of it.
Yeah.
Damn shame.
Okay. So wait, he's just gonna have to go up against 2 people at that time.
So basically, it's kind of like war.
It's just like a war games match, yeah.
Start, and they're gonna just swap off,
and then they keep coming in, and then the match officially starts. Yeah.
And they're actually using the old school war games rules with surrender or submission.
Oh, nice.
Now it seems the interesting about this, because the graphic that I seen of, like, I guess the structure that they kept showing, if that is to be what it is, as far as, let me see if I can bring it up.
Surrender or submission.
Because it seems like
nobody's gonna surrender. So
no, not at all. I doubt anybody taps in this fucking match. It seems in this match, as far as like the rings, like this is it almost seems like a Hell in a Cell, just with 2 rings. That's because, like, as far as war games, it looks like
it did look like
match
that
together. But with this one, it literally looks like it's 2 rings, and they got ample areas to move around in, because that's. And I'm intrigued by that, because that has a lot of possibility of being able to be a lot more brutal and having a lot more wiggle room to do extra shit, like being able to pull shit from under the ring. Question is, where the fuck they gonna put this?
Probably Jaguars, like, practice field or whatever like that. Or the stadium. Didn't they do something? Yeah, they did the stadium brawl. They could put it in the stadium.
I'm down for it. I hate that there's not gonna. Well, damn. I want there to be like fans around it, but at the same time, the imagery of having it just be out in the open somewhere is still cool too. But I just want this match. I just want to see what the fuck's gonna happen, because this, to me, this would be better than what they were going to do for the Elite. I feel like this is better as far as Inner Circle and the Pinnacle, mainly because of the fact that with the Elite, you had so much going on with that as it is. It would have been good as fuck. No, you know what? I take it back. I'm thinking about it now. Yeah, never mind. I can't choose. I can't choose. It's only because it's like both, like every faction would benefit in this match and it would look good. So
yeah.
I'm all for it.
I'm not sure. What would you have rather seen, though? This match or the one with the Bucks, with the Elite?
At that time,
me personally, this one.
No, I take it back. It had to be this one, mainly because the other one was going to have
Matt
Hardy, and it just didn't like. I mean, granted, he was kind of, it was more of a shoe-in to be in there, but at the same time, I still would have rather it'd be more of a cohesive unit on both sides rather than it be, Inner Circle versus.
Who was it going to be? It was going to be Kenny, the Bucks, Cody, Hangman, right? Or was Kenny not part of it at that time?
No, that was the lineup. But then, who got hurt?
Oh, I think that was around the time where wait. Was that the time where Cody broke his foot?
It had to have been for Matt Hardy to step in.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Okay. Yeah, because I think that was during that time. Yeah, because I think Cody was feuding with MJF at that time. So yeah. I think because he had already. Yeah, because he had already competed for the AEW Championship, because that's when he had the stipulation where he wouldn't challenge for it anymore. So after that, then he that was around the time. But so I mean, I'm pretty sure we're all in agreement that Pinnacle takes this, or y'all think something else?
I still think the Pinnacle take it.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd be surprised if Inner Circle took it.
This is my little weird speculation. These past few weeks, Ortiz has been giving me interesting vibes.
Really? In what regard?
Ortiz,
like if you go back and kind of look at the promos, Ortiz has been not so much vocal. Like he was vocal.
He hasn't been saying much.
He's been vocal this past week by telling Santana, chill out, man. You know what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. But he's been giving me interesting vibes that I'm not saying he's going to betray the Inner Circle, but I don't know. Ortiz has been kind of worrying me.
Huh. That is interesting. That's very interesting. Huh. Because maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but I do know that he has been fairly quiet, especially compared to how vocal he was during the time where MJF was stirring up shit with the Inner Circle. He was way more vocal then.
Damn! Don't tell me we get a betrayal. No, why would we break up? No, you can't break up Proud and Powerful like that.
No, I don't think it just. But I do see where Scoot's coming from, but I can't put my finger on what would happen though. That's the thing.
Yeah,
but that's interesting. That's
it
interesting.
really is.
But from there we get Chris Statlander versus Penelope Ford, which I watched this match not expecting anything from the match because the only thing I was waiting for within this match is for Miro to come out and demolish Kip because Kip ain't been around. So when I watched this match patiently, which this match in itself went way longer than expected because I don't think Chris Statlander should have been this match should have been this competitive.
I think they want to keep Penelope Ford looking like competitive.
Yeah, which is fine. Statlander she's so dominant.
Dude, Statlander's like she was. I'm gonna say it again. She was amazing before, but this whole new angle, this whole new vibe, all of it is just it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I feel like granted, I understand the stuff with Ford, but at the same time, I'm just like, you know what? No, I can't even say that because I'm glad they basically got it out the way. So that way she can focus on everything else. So cool. Good on them for that shit. Makes sense.
Right.
Now, of course, we all know Statlander won. That goes without saying. I kept hoping that Miro was going to come out even after this match. First during the match and then after this match. There was a point before this match happened that I was like, well, this match isn't going to start because what's going to happen is Miro's going to come out, demolish Kip, and they won't even have a match. It's going to be Kip being demolished by Miro, period. Didn't happen. Didn't happen during the match. Didn't happen after the match. But what did happen was that they came back from commercial break and they showed Kip coming down the hallway. And he goes into Miro's locker room. And I was like, yes. And then Miro didn't say anything. He threw the apple at Kip and demolished Kip. Basically stating, where were you? Where were you? You weren't here. And I was like, hell yeah.
Man was on his honeymoon, bro.
No, but he said he never would answer the phone, nothing like that. He hadn't heard from him, nothing. And then
Man's is on his honeymoon, bro.
Now the interesting behind that, because I assumed that this was going to lead to Miro just being on his own, period. But it seems as though, based on how this ended, of course, with him taking Kip's arm and saying, "Hey, you have to pay your dues," and basically slammed the door on his arm, and then gave him a hug and said, "Hey, I forgive you." Basically stating like, hey, you were in the wrong. You weren't here when I was asking where you were. This is your due right now. Now I forgive you. Which I like that imagery of him being like, "Yeah, I forgive you," and doing that. But at the same time, this still ties him to Kip. So I'm worried.
He's gonna keep that young boy mentality.
I mean, that's fine. If they do it the right way, I'm cool with that. I just don't want them to continuously keep them attached to each other and have them try to compete, together, rather than have just Miro be dominant and just have Kip there. I'm fine with that. I just, it's just, we've already been down the road where they've been attached as a tag team and all this and that. Yeah. But unless it's one of those things where they're switching the dynamic, because it seemed like at first Kip brought him in and Miro was technically the muscle for like a split second. And now it's kind of just flipped to where you got Miro at the forefront, and then now you have Kip and Penelope just like backing him, which of course I'd still be fine with, as long as Miro keeps this intensity, keeps cutting these fucking promos, and keeps the same idea to go after these fucking titles. So
damn it. If he doesn't get Darby soon, he's gonna fizzle out.
And okay, and I'm glad you said to keep that thought, because I need to. We're going to get into this whole bullshit, Nightmare Family versus the Factory. I'm not talking about this match because I skipped this match and I didn't care for it. The only thing I saw, because I had to bring it back, was the fact that Cody returned.
Wait. You wanted to skip match of the night?
Oh God.
This was not match of the night.
I can't get behind that one. Scoot,
I'm
sorry.
This was like, what? Are y'all serious right now?
I can't do this, man. I can't do
Scoot,
this.
I can't believe. Scoot, I can't differentiate if you're serious or not.
I mean, yo, QT, Camarado.
You are not serious.
And Solo versus Billy, Big Shotty, and I'm about to say Goldust and Dustin. Like, yo, like, are y'all for real?
This man is not serious.
I mean, no, I was thoroughly watching this match.
I'm glad somebody enjoyed it.
This man is not serious.
The reason I can't get behind it is because I just can't get behind this idea of this situation with the Nightmare Family, Factory,
collective,
all that
failed
shit.
Collective.
The whole thing is just. And here's the thing: the fact that when Cody came back, I don't know, but I'm not surprised if all the people outside that fucking bus on the side of it when he was posing was part of the Nightmare Family.
God damn it.
I don't know if they were. That's the thing that
I don't know why that happened though. Like, why was there a sudden rush of people? That was random to me. Like, did people just hop out from their seats and like run over to the bus?
Y'all not understanding the psychology.
Okay, now I know. Okay, now I'm 100% certain you're fucking with me.
When QT and Cody got on that bus and all those people surrounded, that was reminiscent of an old schoolyard fight. What are y'all talking about? That's what it was. It was reminiscence of an old schoolyard fight. And everybody was like, "Oh no, fight!"
Oh yeah, I remember schoolyard fights. Like at my high school when two guys would start fighting on top of buses. Yes, this was a common.
I mean, yeah. I don't understand why they got on top of the bus. That was a little weird, but I fucking hated this whole segment.
Yeah, damn right you did.
Even Cody's return was flat as fuck to me,
and it was.
Why? No, doesn't he have to get surgery? I know that you can't be gone for only this amount of time. He has not been gone long.
I don't understand why they keep making Cody do these little grand returns. Like, they have to stop doing that with Cody.
They really do.
Getting beat up one week disappear for 2 weeks and come back like, oh my God, Cody's back. He was only gone for 2 weeks. Calm down.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
And then the thing is too, this is a waste of Cody's time to be feuding with QT.
Thank you. You.
Leave that to Dustin.
Seriously.
Yeah, he was the one that was closest to him at that point. Yeah, I get that, QT and Cody are, good friends and all this other shit. But at the same time,
let Dustin, the Gun Club, and Lee Johnson feud with the Factory. Cody, you better than this.
Yeah, Cody needs to be doing other shit. Like if that was the case, Cody should just stayed off TV for a little bit.
Yeah,
because nothing against Cody, he's just not necessary at this point. Like he's done the reason that the TNT title picture is where it is right now is because of him. He needs to leave that as it is and just kind of parlay for a little bit, and then come back later once the world title picture is back in order. Like he's good off TV for right now. Like, granted, yeah, I do like Cody, want Cody on TV, but it's one of the situations where it's not necessary.
No. But for all the people that I gave false hopes to, sorry, y'all know in y'all's head and mind that this match was big trash.
Yeah, it was
just a no.
Not only was it, I'm trying to understand, because the problem is that the Factory doesn't look right as a faction.
Thank you.
And even Cornette had made a joke about it. You got Agogo, Camarado, and Solo. Like, why do their names have to rhyme like that? One. And two, like, I don't know. It's just, I'm not saying QT could have chose better people or anything like that. It's just one of those that,
bro, they look like the Suicide Squad and he's Amanda Waller.
Right? Like, this faction I can't take 100% serious.
They are wrestling a Suicide Squad. That's what it feels like, especially with freaking Camarado. The dude looks like a Neanderthal.
He does. Like this is a faction that I can't get behind right now. Like, maybe things could change. Don't get me wrong. It has happened before. But as of right now, there's nothing about this faction that's just like, yeah, I support them. Nah, this is just kind of one of those, like, I guess. I guess.
I fast forwarded through this as well. I actually didn't catch AEW live.
Well, unfortunately for me, I watched AEW live, so I had to sit through it.
Yeah, I couldn't. Yeah, I just
it wasn't no fast forwarding for me. It was live.
Yeah, anything regarding like the Nightmare Family and the Factory, all that shit there is like the embodiment of what I was talking about earlier with this whole faction warfare shit. Because anything that involves these two always results in the same thing: a big brawl of bullshit, and then something else happening. But that's literally all that happens anytime they are on screen. Like, I don't think there's been one match that hasn't led or started with a brawl. It like, I don't know, man. And I just can't take any of this seriously because I just don't like it. As far as even with the Nightmare Family, look, Cody, Dustin, all day. I have no problems with the Gun Club. But let's take Billy to the side.
I know you said you didn't want to talk about it, but let's discuss the ending of this match. QT Man won, stole the victory, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody leave, then the Gun Club shows up and starts beating up QT.
Yeah.
Then I'm thinking to myself, where the fuck is the Factory at now all of a sudden? It took them forever for them to show back up. And then by then,
you think they maybe forgot about it backstage? They're like, oh shit.
That's what it seemed like. It seemed like they was like, wait, we forgot something. Oh shit, we gotta go help QT, y'all. Like I thought that was just weird to me.
Like,
but, you know,
if they wanted to do that, if they wanted to have this whole factory thing, at least let them be a stable on like Elevation or Dark or just run through that area and just be there primarily. There's
have them be like some gatekeepers.
Yeah,
for Dark or Elevation.
Even better.
I can agree with that.
Like, because Dynamite is too crowded with one, factions, and two, talent that need to be on TV. And this is just taking up time. Like, what? Like, you could have taken all this off and put the Acclaim in a match, in a tag match, period. Especially since they're going to be in that 4-man. And I'm sorry,
I just realized the tactic.
Huh?
I just realized the tactic. I feel like.
What's that?
The tactic is promote all this stuff on Dark and Elevation, and then have the climax of it all show up on Dynamite to get more viewings on Dynamite.
Oh, I would hate that.
I mean, that's what the tactic feels like, because they keep doing this with Dark stuff and Elevation stuff. Like they'll push the feuding. Like Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa, didn't they start off feuding on Dark? They may not have, but there have been Dark feuds, like this one in particular, with the factory going to shit or whatever.
Yeah,
like you never saw QT and Dustin wrestle together on regular Dynamite.
Except for once.
Exactly.
The bunkhouse match.
All their drama, all their stuff was a Dark product.
You're right.
And look at it now. They're at the climax of it all, and they brought it all to Dynamite.
I think the big issue is that, honestly, they need to find a way to get people to watch Dark and Dark Elevation. Because at the end of the day, it's not gonna, so at the end of the day, you have to look at AEW almost how we look at WWE and NXT. Like for instance, if you live in that vacuum where you just solely watch WWE, then next thing you know, it's like, oh wait, who's this Damian Priest guy? Like, who's this Rhea? Well, no, I'm gonna say who's Rhea Ripley because of the whole last year. But then you're like, who's this Damian Priest guy? And why should I?
I gotta admit that when I finally started getting back into wrestling with WWE, I gotta admit, when I first started watching NXT on a regular basis, I was like, who the fuck is Johnny Gargano? But
yeah.
Like when my friends got excited that Finn Balor was coming to like the main roster, I was like, "The fuck y'all talking about?" And then they're like, "Oh, he's been on NXT forever." Like, what the fuck aren't you like? Why aren't you watching? I was like, "Oh," and that's
kind of like
where we go back to how WWE doesn't promote NXT.
And see, that's kind of how Dark and Elevation goes. Yes,
Right.
They put on the bottom with the crawl showing you who won matches, but the problem is, like you said, if you're not really in the know with Dark, you're like, who the fuck are these guys that QT is showing up with? Like, who the fuck is he? Like, wait, Billy Gunn got sons? Like, wait, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, so it's a weird thing how they do it, because don't make Dynamite where they blow off the feuds. Because then that's stupid. Because it's like, wait, I don't care.
I don't know who the fuck these guys are.
Exactly, I don't give
care.
a shit. Like for instance, kind of like when they were talking about how when Scorpio Sky and Sean Spears were like the kings of Dark, and it was like, where the fuck Scorpio Sky has been? It's like,
or like later in a later match. But we'll get to that.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. Like, so I will say this: one thing that they are doing right with Dark and Elevation is they do right by the women, because I mean, of course, that's how we got Red Velvet. That's how we got Ty Conti in prominent positions, because they were doing their thing on those shows and then came up. So I don't know the discrepancy between that and then versus the men and then the factions, because it just seems as though like they As far as the women, they got it down as far as how they push them on the lower shows and then bring them to Dynamite.
Yeah.
But it's just weird. It's a very weird thing.
It's very weird. It's very weird because, like you said, the only attention we're gonna get from this feud is the fact that Cody's involved.
Yeah.
Cody's going to be the reason why people are going to want to care about this feud. And so since people love Cody so much, that's what's going to happen, that people are going to care because, oh shit, if Cody is caring about QT Marshall and all these other folks, then we definitely got to care.
No.
So yeah, it's like I'm not on board with this feud at all.
No. Not in the slightest. I mean, there was a small bit of intrigue when, this first started, where Cody was like, "We'll have an exhibition." Then, like, the idea of that was like, cool. But after that, it was like, all right, done.
Yeah,
But from this bullshit going into what seems to be the continuous main event of all Dynamites as of late, Darby Allin defending his TNT title against another competitor. This week's competitor, Preston Vance, 10 of the Dark Order.
I'm gonna just wait before you say it. I'm gonna just jump out and say it. I didn't care for this match either.
And that's the problem right there.
I'm a fan of 10. Like when I was actually watching Dark regularly, 10 was he was like the powerhouse of Dark for a little bit. And so I was actually excited to see 10 and Darby go at it.
Yeah, I like now, of course, I like this match for the competitors in it, but at the same time, that's the same thing that works against it, is because 10 is not the 10 that we saw like a month and a half ago, where they were pushing him slowly but surely on Dynamite.
Fair.
And that's why it kind of sucks, because especially if you're gonna have Darby go against Silver and Silver not beat Darby, I doubt that 10 is gonna beat Darby at this point too.
Yes.
Now,
I get that.
From that, and this is I'm because it's gonna be somewhat controversial at the end, but the reason why I didn't like it like this is because it seems like now Darby's somewhat going down the gauntlet, and it seems like he's going down like a Dark Order gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
And here's part of that problem, and this is where I think Hangman comes into play.
Ooh, I knew you were gonna. Okay.
Mainly because of the fact that now, and I seen this right after that pin that 10 got on. Well, the pin that Darby got on 10, the one that won him the match. Because it seemed like Darby was completely out of it. Like he was on the verge of losing this match.
Mm.
Now, the one thing that stood out in this is that this whole thing seems to be surrounded by the ideology of Brody being champ or being the best TNT champ.
Yeah.
Now, two things. One, a bad thing.
I thought that was a little. Sorry, before you get into I was just saying, I felt that was a little out of left field. Like, why? Like they just dropped that in. I was just like, really? Huh? Okay.
Well, the reason they said that is because they have kind of alluded to it every now and then. Yeah. So after when they had the special for Brody, when Darby was did his time to talk about Brody, he actually called Brody the greatest TNT champion.
Okay.
And then from that, when he proclaimed that he wanted to defend his title like Cody did, he wanted to do it as the greatest champion like Brody Lee. So he alluded to him then too. So now with 10 doing that promo about wanting to win that title because it symbolizes Brody Lee.
Yeah.
Here's the problem in all this, not from that perspective, but from Dark Order's perspective, because now it seems like instead of them trying, because it seemed like before, like the goal of Dark Order, when you're Dark Order, your goal was to get your mask taken off so that way you can have like that identity.
Yeah.
And now it seems that because Brody's passed, that now they're going to be stuck on that logic of just, you know what, I put this mask on for him rather than find their own identity. And I feel like that's going to put them or handcuff the Dark Order, especially if it's going to be cemented by just the idea of what Brody wanted rather than evolving from that and becoming something greater.
They got to go back as heels.
So that could be the case.
Ooh, for the unmasking. That
yeah,
they're gonna have to. Like I get it, but at some point they're gonna have to become the Dark Order again. Like even hearing the name, you can't have that type of name and be good guys.
True.
That's like the Legion of Doom. And they're like, no, man, we the ones who saving the kid.
This is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They're trying to develop Negative One's mic skills so they can finally go back to being heels and have Negative One just be a heel cutting promos.
Yeah, like they're gonna have to turn them back to heels in order for this to work, because otherwise Dark Order
yeah.
I mean, what's truly the last match Dark Order won?
I mean, they've been on Dark, and
I saw that Colt Cabana won a match on Dark or Elevation, whatever which one it was. But it's like they're gonna have to go back as heels and find their identity again as the group, and they're gonna have to just. Yeah. I mean, it can still be done for Brody. Like, don't get me wrong. But they're gonna have to be heels.
Well, what I think because Brody's passing has been so fresh that they're gonna ride this face run for a bit, and I think that's where Hangman comes into play, because I think Hangman is going to be the one that takes that title off of Darby, mainly just because of the fact that they even stated I think Darby's defenses. I think he's had 9 defenses already. Yeah, and he's just running through the gauntlet week after week after week. And the best person right now still connected to Dark Order, maybe not officially part of Dark Order, but connected enough, is Hangman. Hangman has the opportunity to take that title off of Darby in a way where he looks dominant on a pretty much battle-worn Darby at this point, and almost in a way win it for the Dark Order, and to basically bring the TNT title back to the Dark Order.
Yeah, I want this match at the pay-per-view.
At which Double or Nothing?
Yeah, I wanted a Double or Nothing.
I don't know. I don't know if I even want this match.
Well, I mean, if it's gonna be Hangman to take it, I would like it sooner rather than later. So I would rather have it at Double or Nothing.
Okay,
because I think with Hangman having it, I think this opens the door. Because I mean, look, Darby's going to lose it to one of two people. It's either going to be in a match with Hangman, or in a mauling done by Miro. So
I would prefer that.
I honestly prefer the mauling by Miro. I think Hangman can chill right now. I don't think he even right now he's doing fine without a belt.
True, absolutely.
Right. He's got his own little drama. He's got his own story going on. And we're all paying attention to it. It's and it's pretty good story work, especially with BTE. They brought up Hangman taking off, going to get those Southwest egg rolls or whatever from Chili's.
Yeah.
And Hangman came back to the Dark Order without anything. He's and they're all mad at him. He's what's up? It's hello, where's, I thought you was getting the freaking egg rolls from Chili's. John ran off somewhere. We can't even find him. Because Silver wasn't on the show. But it was they actually do some pretty good continuity as far as shows related. It's little flavor text on a card if you want to even.
So let me pose this question for both of y'all, because you're saying Hangman is going to be the one. So where does that put
Miro has my
Scorpion Sky, Ethan Page, and Lance Archer?
Very good question, considering events that just happened here.
So what does that put those three gentlemen
Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, and I'm sorry, who else?
and Lance Archer?
Okay. Well, I'm slightly mad at this situation too.
That means that Darby would have to go through them.
Now, what I think is going to happen, I think we get two things. Well, we get a for sure thing. We definitely get Darby and Sting against Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky. That's almost a given.
I can see that.
I also, that. I mean, that has to happen.
Not that I want it, but I can see it.
And then I also see a handicap match between Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky against Lance Archer. I don't care to see that, but it seems like that's what's happening because of the fact that Lance Archer keeps coming out and helping Sting and Darby. And then now, unless they do it to where Sting is taken out of the equation, and then you have Darby and Lance Archer against Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. And then that leads to a match, a friendly match between Lance Archer and Darby Allin, where Darby narrowly makes it out of that match. And then he gets mauled by Miro.
I think the funny part to me personally is Ethan Page just got there. Why are you upset?
Why? Oh,
yeah.
Why does Ethan Page have a gripe? You just got there.
He was the freshest out of all of them. Yeah.
Like, you have no reason to be upset.
Now, unless it's I still don't think this is leading to any type of like multi-man like championship match at all.
Is it sad or bad that we don't see it going that way?
Yes and no, because technically it should be something like that, but I think it's mainly because
all the players on the board, yeah.
Because of the fact that you have Ethan Page and Scorpio Sky acting as a tandem at this point, I felt like. Because, granted, we've seen it before. You know, we've seen it a long time ago with Carlito and Chris Masters in WWE when they went to Elimination Chamber. They would tag every now and then. They were heels. They worked together, but ultimately when it came down to trying to get the title, whatever. But it's the same thing as this, and it could happen, but. I just feel like from Scorpio Sky's perspective, if he was going to be like after this heel turn and he really wanted that title, he would not really have aligned himself with anybody. He would have just tried to go after that title again. Because him aligning himself with Ethan Page, it just seems like, oh, we're finna go after the tag titles. It doesn't say, hey, I'm Ethan Page. I'm going to help Scorpio Sky get this TNT title. It's just weird. But I don't know.
Why did we pair them up?
I have no idea. I thought I knew. And at first, it looked like it was going to be those two paired with Lance Archer. But clearly, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So I just it's a weird situation, and and this is what pisses me off. We were so close to having a situation where Sting wasn't involved in any kind of brawl, any kind of outside whatever. This whole match went perfectly fine.
Yeah. And
then right after it, like you just couldn't go off the air with Darby standing tall. You had to have him on the ground after being, beat down by Ethan Page, Scorpio Sky, and then have Lance Archer run out, who hasn't had a match or been on TV outside of this whole situation. It's like, it's not necessary. It's like, just like Darby's doing his thing. Let him do his thing being the TNT champion, period.
Yeah.
Like,
Sting constantly interfering because even that Sting making sure nobody. I'm like, man, it's like 7 of y'all out there in this Sting.
Seriously, there were 6 of them out there. You're worried about Sting when he doesn't even have a bat. Sorry. That just that was. I was so mad. And I was like, damn it! Scoot got to me because there was the same thing with Team Taz. It was
same thing with Team Taz.
It's like there is 700 pounds between three or four people on Team Taz, and then you're worried about Sting.
You worried about Sting? Like
700 pounds would be
honestly,
3 people for sure. Maybe 800 with Hook. I don't know.
like honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, this whole pairing is souring my look on Darby because now all of a sudden Darby can't do it on his own.
This guy, Daddy Sting.
Yeah, evil face paint daddy. What Miro had called him, evil face paint daddy.
Yeah, you're right.
So evil face paint daddy, and now Darby can't handle his own battles now.
Yeah.
I like the pairing of Darby and Mox rather than Darby and Sting, because at least with Mox and Darby, they had like this big brother, little brother mentality where you know Mox, even Mox wouldn't come out every time that Darby was in trouble, like almost saying like, "Hey, you know how to get out of it, you got it." He would really come out only like when it was like extremely necessary, and that's why I love like their dynamic, because even when like Mox was feuding with Team Taz, and they had that shit where Mox brought in Hobbs, from Dark and all this other shit, and then he just pulled to the camera, and Darby was off TV for like 2 weeks, and he was like, "Darby, you're the third man. Just make sure you get your ass here next week." It was like, like that. That's the perfect dynamic. Like, where has that shit been?
Hell, it even would have been cool now because it would be like, Darby, the elite, we need you.
Yes,
right.
Because like, oh no, I'm not enjoying Sting and Darby's partnership, because now it's looking like Darby can't do nothing for himself. Like this was the man who took Cody to the limits. This was the man who would take a beating that you had to damn near kill, and now I need 61-year-old Sting to watch my back, and not only watch my back.
Maybe it's implied.
Sting,
go ahead.
It was like, is that not only I need Sting to watch my back, but I also need Sting to make sure I win. Like, no.
Maybe they're trying to imply it without saying it, that Sting is just there to be that equalizer for outside interferences.
But since when did Darby need that, though?
I mean, who has he wrestled that has that, though? I mean, prior to Sting showing up.
When he feud with Team Taz? Well, no, it was really Cage.
Yeah.
Then.
No, like prior to Sting showing up, Darby had only really feuded with people that like were respectable. Like they were like faces in the sense that they didn't bring out a crowd.
Yeah.
Nobody else really brought it out back up.
Yeah, it's outside of Team Taz.
I think maybe Cody brought out Brandy, but I don't think he did anything.
Yeah, that wasn't much of anything.
Yeah,
I think I would have preferred Sting to be more in a manipulative position where it's like he was getting in Darby's head and like making him think a certain way. Because like you could, and just like you said, Scoot, where it was like you would have like that could have been a thing where they were still having that going on, the dynamic between him and Mox. And now you have Mox trying to get Darby to help him out with the elite, but then Sting's like in the back, like, hey, you got to focus on you, and kind of manipulate, orchestrating shit in the back. That would have been better. I would have preferred that rather than Sting trying to be at the forefront. Again, Sting, love you, man, but it's you got certain roles here that you have to play. I mean, you look at Tully, you look at Arn. I've seen Arn maybe do 2 spine busters, and I love Arn spine busters.
Yeah,
but he's not in there every fucking week giving spine busters to people, and you don't have
taking
Tully.
chop blocks.
Yeah, like and
even to go back to what Jim Cornette was saying, he was like, we were talking about last week's episode. He was like, Luchasaurus gave Jungle Boy a slight nudge, and that led to y'all having a fist fight. Like they're both faces. Like they're both faces here, and Luchasaurus gave Jungle Boy a slight nudge so he could beat the 10 count, and that led to y'all having a fist fight. Like it did. He was like, and then Luchasaurus wasn't even seen again. So he's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, like that. I just don't like the way that they've handled it. Like they got away scot-free with this with the cinematic match. Flying colors gone by. Perfect.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, they should have left it at that.
They should have honestly just kept Sting looking on at Darby in the rafters.
They should have had.
Yeah, that would have been again still perfectly fine. But
Like watching Darby like to go through all these matches and then just have Sting looking in the rafters. You know what? If you wanted to involve Sting that bad, just do some shit where you have Sting watching, like you cut to Sting watching in the rafters, and then if the outside interference starts to happen, just cut the lights off real quick, have Sting pop up, make it be a scary moment for whoever's about to jump Darby. I don't know. I don't know. You don't have to involve Sting to that depth. There's other way. There's other avenues to have involved him.
No, like I said, especially the fact that Dark Order wasn't doing shit, and he was like,
seriously.
And it was like, fam, it's like 6 of y'all. Like, what are y'all doing?
Thank you.
Like, beat that old man up and go about y'all business or something. Shit.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know. It was irritating,
but
to see all of that. Like I said, I mean, it really sucked to get back-to-back segments.
Mm-hmm.
Like, honestly, this wasn't one of my favorite episodes of AEW. If I'm really being honest, with the whole this match, the Factory versus the Nightmare Family, the Kenny Omega situation, because like y'all was hinting at, it was like, that's the match y'all wanted? Y'all couldn't say a tag team title shot? This the match y'all wanted? Like, honestly, this wasn't
seriously should have gone after the
like, honestly, if it wasn't for the parlay, that's what actually kind of saved this episode for me.
The parlay, and then Britt Baker.
And Britt Baker, yes.
Yeah.
But other than that, and then too, let's kind of, future jump. Well, I didn't say future jump because we're at the end, but let's kind of jump to the fact that I didn't think Blood and Guts was going to have this many matches.
I'm happy it does.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Because I literally thought this is really just about like the actual match itself.
Well, I thought the Blood and Guts match was going to at least be the whole second hour.
Okay. Well, it looks like we got a
whole show.
I mean, 1 hour. I mean, 1 hour spent well. It can be 2, 3. I mean, it can be. This can definitely be 2. It could probably be 3 matches.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it's like 4 matches next week.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I'm saying the first hour you can squeeze in 3 matches, and then you can have an hour-long Blood and Guts match if it needs to come to that.
No, I think Blood and Guts might end up being like 30 minutes, 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Long.
That makes sense too. So then, you have a comfy seat on promo time then.
Yeah, because we got Britt Baker
and Sheeta, right?
She's just in the match.
Yeah, no, it's just Britt having a match. You got tag team elimination, whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
You got Kenny and Nakazawa versus Eddie and Mox.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And there was somebody else, I thought, too, having a match.
Let me see if their lineups on here. I don't think so.
It might not be another match, but yeah, so it was more matches than I thought that was going to be on there.
Man, I like how they commentary had said it. There was like, Britt Baker's going to be in it when they announced the match. So it's not the match that you want, but she will be in action.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Because they already know. They already know that.
So save it for the pay-per-view?
I think so. And I think that's when she takes the title, as she should.
She definitely should. If she doesn't, I don't know what the fuck they're doing anymore.
I've said it. If Britt doesn't take that title, I'm done with the women's division.
That's valid, man.
I'm done. Because at this point, Sheeta will be Brock Lesnar levels.
She's had it for over a year now, hasn't she?
Like, she's only had 2 singles matches this year. Like, that's crazy.
Jesus. Yeah, you could have given her plenty of chump matches. Shit, you could have given her champ matches on Dark or Elevation even.
Yes. It's a shame that most
Make
of her
it-
matches were
make
tag
it-
matches.
Yeah, make it to where Dark and Elevation get some views. Like have Sheeta be in a match.
Yeah, that it's easy to do. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be five matches.
5, okay.
Yeah, so it's the tag match. The tag elimination match or the four way rather. Britt Baker and versus Vacant. Cody and QT. Kenny and Nakazawa against Kingston and Moxley. And
wait,
then,
Cody and QT are having a match?
Yeah,
that Blood and Guts. Yep.
I must have missed that. Okay.
That was right after he was.
That's right. No, I made fun of that. I made fun of right after the little scrap happened.
Figure 4.
The graphic went up, and it was like, how the hell was that match made that fast?
See, it was Cody. He ran. He's like, yo, I'm about to go out there, make this match. I'm about to handle this now. And then he ran out and then put the figure 4 on top of the bus. And then they put the graphic up. This match is official now.
You put a figure 4 on a man on top of a bus.
Yo, honestly,
And the man tapped.
I'm gonna tell you what I thought was gonna happen. I thought what was gonna happen. I know we're going back. I thought what was gonna happen since all those people crowded. I thought he was gonna throw him off the bus and the people was gonna just catch him.
Yo, that would have been fun.
I thought Cody was gonna throw QT off the bus. That's what I thought was gonna happen.
No, he's gonna save that for Blood and Guts. And go right back to the bus. People are gonna run up and then he's gonna throw QT off. I'm like, yeah, he went into the abyss. He's done.
He's done.
No more factors.
They're gonna take it back to that warehouse that Sting and Darby had their match in.
Basically. Now,
But yeah.